Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still doing a big industrial expansion over here in Borneo. And at the same time, we've fallen down to 2 again. The German Empire. How did you all get stonks? Well, I'm glad we're trying to be friends. They are conciliatory towards us. That is a lot of battalions. Do they have squad infantry yet? Only trench... Wow, not really. Okay, so they've got a big... Their army is large, but low tech, which is interesting. Hoping that doesn't cause us a problem. Let's do a quick review of our trade routes, because we do have some that are not useful. This one can go, this one can go. That one can go. Don't need to sell oil to France. Do want to keep our trade routes to Scotland. I feel like Scotland is a nice place to have friends. Don't need to sell coffee to Bengal anymore. Or sugar to the Qing Empire. Let's take a look at our market and see what we can sell. Tea is still crazy cheap. Anyone want to buy our tea? No. Game's having a normal one. Game's having a normal one for sure. All right. Norway will buy our tea. So will Sweden, and Bengal will buy a lot of it. What else? We got a lot of guns to sell, but I'm not necessarily worried about that. And we got a lot of hardwood to sell, so let's see who'll buy that. Mostly Qing China, which is fine. I think it's Qing. It might be King, but I think it's Qing. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm for sure right, but I think that's what it is. I am still doing this decree, which I no longer need. We're going to switch it over to here. Just for a little bit while we finish up these 3 rubber plantations, and then we'll clear that out and have that be done with. And then we can put consumption taxes back on that, whatever that thing was. Let's go ahead and bring law enforcement up again. That'll continue to keep radicalization down in our incorporated territories. A little bit of a kerfuffle going on in Sind there. Don't need this anymore. Let's put that consumption tax back on. Oh my goodness. Consumption tax on cars. Everyone wants a car. That's rad. I love that. Everyone wants a car, and that means I, the government, can make some money. It also looks like our industrialists have chilled out about this whole technocracy thing, which I'm pretty pleased about. Establish colonial administration. In order to best leverage our rule over our African holdings, a colonial administration may be established over a given region of the continent. Colonial administration will expand into neighboring decentralized nations on their own, and may be given jurisdiction over our other regional holdings. Stonks! Where is it? Hold on. Give me that menu. Where did that go? Hold on, I wanted to see it. I lost it. Hold on, let me see if it's achievements. Where is that? Oh, I see. They're not in order. I just sure have unlocked a lot of achievements. Stonks. Have 3 companies at maximum prosperity at the same time. Very nice. Alright, so that is the Ottoman Gold Company getting its prosperity up. So that gives us 5% extra minting and extra loyalists from standard of living increases. And that is super duper nice. I have to say that this number felt like it was a lot better at one point. We're getting another rubber rush in East Borneo. Just gonna go, this place seems the most effective. Does that mean we can build more rubber plantations there? No. No, it does not. We do have oil rigs in East Borneo, though. Where's oil? Oil is still pretty expensive in our market due to how much of it we're exporting. So, yeah, the business of the Sultanate, the business of the high ports is business, to paraphrase something I heard about America. So, let's go ahead and build some freaking oil wells. We got tons of oil. Oh, we've got actually a new oil well option here. An agitator appears. Industry banned. Ooh, don't like that. Combustion engine derricks is still says it's going to be worth. So let's do it. And then we won't need to spend for now. So what does that do to our oil market? It still keeps the price of engines really, really high, but it has significantly driven down the price of oil, which is nice. So let's export more. Britain wants oil. Russia wants oil. France wants oil. Everybody gets some oil. Infertile grounds. Finding both the Ottoman public and supposed political allies unreceptive to his ideas, frustrated, Jalaluddin Bey has decided to retire from the realm of politics, opting instead to spend the rest of his days penning embittered reflections on what could have been. I give these bumpkins the truth, and how am I rewarded? With deafening silence. And they call Constantinople a city of ideas, of culture. The only evidence of cultivation I found in that cesspool of a city came from the fields outside of it, and even they were cared for poorly. Good riddance to you all, I say, sirs. Good riddance to you all. All right. Let him peddle his ideas in peace away from Constantinople. Settles domestically, that makes the Snealand a little stronger. That's fine. I don't want to exile him and piss everybody off. It looks like our one of our agitators died, so let's get Ozal the heck out of here. And then there will be no more agitation in the Ottoman Empire. And then instead of everyone being agitated, they'll just chill. And everything will be chill, and it'll be fine, and everyone will relax, and nobody will try to overthrow the government. Looks like we're doing overall pretty well from a bureaucracy standpoint. We are still increasing our law enforcement level, but I could build a little bit more on that. We're doing a lot better in terms of cash. I feel like this this number bounces around a lot, and I'm not really cognizant of what... Actually, there's a smarter way to do this. Into this locks in, we should be able to see these things change over time. So income taxes, similar over time. Poll taxes are good. Consumption taxes went up, obviously, when we started taxing cars. Tariffs are basically fine. They're basically nothing. Minting is going up. Diplomatic pacts is basically stable. Investment pool transfer is wonky. So it's going to be... It's primarily our expenditures that are changing up. Government buildings is basically stable. Government wages. Military... Goods for military buildings took a real dip. That's interesting. I wonder if... I don't know what caused this. We can't see a breakdown thing by thing, but ammunition was obviously a lot of it. I mean, this was probably the end of that war. So it's probably not that. Military wages about the same. Welfare payments, subsidies, interest. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I've kind of lost sight of the how the finances work. So a colonial administration would probably just be these zones. And I feel like Ethiopia is already kind of that, so I'm not super interested in faffing about with that. I'm still hungry for some territory in East Africa, but you know, that'll be what it is. A little salty that German Empire has managed to surpassed me and is even continuing to do so. So what's the rest of our business looking like? Cars and trains are still crazy expensive. There's the steam turbine. So that lets us make coal-fired power plants. So if we take all of our power plants and we turn them coal-fired, it's going to cost some coal, but I think that's ultimately the... Well, no, because it's not... There's no grid yet. And it's going to cost us more engines. We'll leave this where it is for now. We'll leave that where it is for now, and we'll take a look into... Oh, interesting. That will be very good. That'll be good, too. Do we have capacity for more mines? We do, actually. We have quite a bit of capacity for more mines. Let's build a bunch in Isfahan. If we can get... No. Iraqi Kajimi, we can get 10 levels there. Mazandaran, we can put 10 levels there, and that should help with our overall mining situation. There's a diplomatic play going on with Tidor. Well, that's fine. I'm expanding in Southeast Asia. Why shouldn't everyone else expand in Southeast Asia? Our finances are still not the best, but that's fine for now. This is only going to be around here for about 10 weeks. Just going to increase our game speed here. And a reformer heads up the interest group. Excellent. So our local governors are now headed up by an even weaker guy. He's a reformer, but he's very old, so who knows who's going to hold it after that. Got a nice, good, legitimist government. I'm feeling pretty good. Oh, that's right. We got that responsive government buff. That's very nice. And all our interest groups are feeling happy. We've got a lot more loyalists. And this is paying big dividends in terms of our interest groups just being pleased as punch to be part of our society. Sea Lane Strategies is going to help out our overall naval situation. Ottoman fleet is we're still trying to get these other ships recruited. Let's go ahead and grab our secondary fleet and throw some more destroyers in it. I said more as though we'd had destroyers in it before. We had not. Just put 5 levels in each of those areas in Persia. And then we can get ourselves some submarines. And we'll put them... Let's see. Plenty of labor available in Lower Egypt. Plenty in Middle Egypt. Some in Dongola. And a bunch in ID. And that'll give us a nice strong increase in power projection from navies. Temples of Humanity. The Positive Church of the Ottoman Empire has petitioned to allow to construct an additional church in Syria. The proposed Temple of Humanity will serve as an important node of positivist activities. We've seen this event before, but I'll read it to you again, since this is only going to be going on for another few years. There's already a temple in Constantinople, and now they want another one in Damascus? Surely there would be an inquisition upon us all for this. I wouldn't worry. They sound like Catholics anyway. If there's an inquisition at all, they'll just take the priests and baptize them. Maybe that would be the real reason to attend Mass on Sunday. You don't attend Mass on Sunday? What does your mother think of this? There's no harm in it. That gives them progress, or they will not spread disorder in Syria. This makes the armed forces upset, which is interesting. The armed forces are pretty happy with me right now, so I'm gonna risk that. I'm okay with that. Actually, the armed forces are headed up by an historical character. Oh, Enver Pasha! This guy! Oh man, this is a this is an historical character, all right. This is basically the guy that got the Ottoman Empire into World War I. through some pretty shady means, frankly. Austria-Hungary sides with Occitania. That's pretty cool. Happy for you about that. I think at the end of all this, we're going to need a major, major increase in motor industries. Where are my motors? Oh, they're in here. Okay, alright. Where have I got a lot of motor industries and a lot of labor available? Southern Syria. How's labor availability here? Not much to speak of. Let's just go ahead and hit the expand button and see. Okay, so we got a bunch of... See, this is job seekers, but not necessarily available labor. Although there is plenty of available labor in Yemen. So we'll go ahead and throw 10 levels in there. Let me see. Tabriz, there's still crazy high availability there. And we'll have them producing cars as well, and that'll be the ones in Tabriz that I'm building, and that will be just fine. Alright, so the German Empire wants... Oh, this is just a trade agreement. Yeah, sure thing, German Empire. I would love that. I would love to have a trade agreement with you, the largest world power in the world. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use precision tools to output more luxury furniture, because we can sell that luxury furniture on the open market for not an import route, an export route, for vast piles of cash. That's nice. And then we should be able to do this as well. I'll reduce luxury clothing output. It's interesting. We've actually increased the cost of regular furniture significantly, but hopefully the falling cost of luxury furniture... Yeah, it still says these would be... But hardwood is so cheap. I'll just make sure this isn't one of our companies that's depending on this. It doesn't look like it. Alright, well that should be fine then. Cool. Everything's pretty chill here, friends. We're just relaxing. We've still got some infamy, so we're letting that decay a little bit before we go on more kind of adventures all over this zone. Trade agreement with France, absolutely. We're all about trade. Tidor is looking like a good conquest target. Western New Guinea. Is this all one state? No, it is not. The Moluccas and the Calebas. So if we conquered the Moluccas, that'll be 11 infamy. Western Guinea, that's 4.5. So if we want to get that stuff, we'll need to take some time. This area is really, really low population. But it's got oil and it's got rubber. And then the Moluccas, they got a lot of industry, but they also got wood. That's pretty neat. Do we have wood available in... Here we do. And there's law enforcement hitting its maximum. That's good. And we should be able to increase the logging industry here as well without a problem. I'm building a ton of industry. I'm really hoping this pays off. Currently we're just expanding our naval bases. These are taking a little bit longer than they should be, but not too long. We're doing a massive naval base expansion, which again I'm hoping will mean an increase in our overall ability to win naval wars, but also to win the prestige battle. Sea lane strategies, we'll go with that. That should increase our power projection from navies by a little bit as well. German Empire is really hiking it there, though. We'll see if Dreadnoughts closes the gap. We're actually advancing quite a bit politically. What if I turned Japan into a protectorate? No, nobody... Everybody disliked that. Oil discovered in Oman. Well, that's delightful. Encourage this trend. Oil is the future. And we'll go ahead and... Do I want to queue in oil rigs? How... Am I still selling oil? I should be. If I were better at figuring out what resources are what, this would not look so silly. We've still got plenty of people to export oil to. So we'll go ahead and continue to do that. We're good on... Oh, convoys are doing rough. So let's go ahead and get some more ports built. Hood of Vendigar is always a good place to build ports. And we'll go ahead and queue a few of those up to the top. Excuse me. We have a secession movement, a Georgian secession movement. Well, I'm not too concerned about that. It's only going to take cars, and we're producing plenty of cars. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Just kidding. Ralph Bay wants to start a council republic. Let's hope he finds infertile grounds. Sure hope he does. I'm probably just going to use this one Ottoman army to suppress that secession movement because, honestly, I can't be bothered to do more. They are still going up. It's going to be 4 more weeks before they get where they want to be. But again, not a problem. I've run through my entire surplus of administrative capacity. Is a word you might not be familiar with, but it's from Stellaris. I don't know why I'm still going to the urban tab with government admin. You'd think I would have remembered this stuff by now. Let's go ahead and throw 5 more levels of government admin into Eastern Thrace. Should probably build a skyscraper there. That would really help me. We'll put them up at the top. There's the secession movement. We'll grab... Didn't this army have or a bunch of them over there? Maybe. Okay. That's weird. I really thought... Maybe they were in cars, friends. Maybe they were in cars. In any case, let's go ahead and queue in a bunch of levels of conscripts so that when we mobilize and raise conscripts, we'll be balanced. Here. And that should make this army good to go, right? Because we're going to have 19 levels of conscripts, and that's weird. It's weird, friends, but I think we'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I don't think there's going to be a problem. This army needs a general. Let's go with an industrialist guy. And we've got an armed... Oop. Dang. Okay, well, that's fine. Ethiopian bourgeois revolt. That's also not my favorite. Alright, well, we'll grab this army and deal with that. So this is going to cost us a pile of cash. But that's okay. Kind of concerned this army still only has its 10 battalions. I guess it's still raising its conscripts. Okay, we're not getting that alert anymore, so we're getting there with infantry. And to solve that problem, let's go ahead and build some levels of squad infantry here in Nuristan. And we'll queue those in so that they'll sort themselves up later. And we'll put a couple more in Isfahan just for good measure. And that will make that army be exactly the way we want it to be. Revolution in Brazil, you say? Oh, not a big one. Oh, your revolution in a Uruguayan religious revolt. Not in Brazil. In the Brazil zone, but not in Brazil, the country. United Sovereign Archduchy, why are you feeling so belligerent towards me? Emperor Franklin Minot, Democrat, You're a Yank. Emperor Franklin Minute of the Minute Dynasty. I don't know what's going on with them. That seems like some silliness, though. That's all I have to say about what's going on in America. Some silliness is what it is. I'm going after Jodhpur. Defamatory article. A newspaper called the Konya Chronicle has printed a bigoted article about the Yao people there. We can suppress the article or we can let it be released. I'm going to ignore it. I know it's going to reduce their standard of living, but I need to keep my authority as high as possible so that I can continue to charge taxes on cars that I need to charge in order to continue to expand the empire. Makes sense? Makes sense. Production and agitation. In collaboration with the Conservative Party, Ralph Bay has secured a deal for cheap and quickly distributed pamphlets in support of the party. The interior of the carriage held a pleasant surprise, a crate of several thousand pamphlets, printed on an industrial scale, each with instructions on the voting process and a cheaply copied logo of the Conservative Party. They made a hefty weight, and he hoped would turn out to be an equally sized benefit. Bury our opponents in a sea of paper. This makes the Conservative Party more momentous. Or these connections could be used later. Ralph Bay gets ambitious. So Ralph Bay is the communist agitator in the armed forces. Ambitious gives him extra interest group political strength as an agitator, which I don't like. Why he's aligned with the conservatives as a communist, I'm not sure. But it also gives him popularity. Let's do the first one. So how is the election looking? Conservatives do have quite a bit of momentum, but the Agrarian Party has quite a bit as well. Oh, interesting. The Sunni Ulema folded into the Conservative Party. Still, we've got an even more righteous government than we've ever had. I think we had an ideology change or something like that, because this is much higher, and I'm quite pleased. Alright, so anyway, this is going to cost us a pile of cash to suppress these rebellions, but ultimately, that's what it is. Whistle Stop Tour. Provide Yalaz intends to travel across Skopje by train to campaign for the Freedom and Accord Party. Campaigning by rails. All I intend to do is present myself to the people. I'm just a simple man, trying to get our party's message out by the best means available. Campaigning by rail is a smart move, 10% momentum. Or, the fate of the nation depends on that train running on time, 20% momentum. Let's do the second one. They both affect railway stuff, but that doesn't actually necessarily concern me all that much. And that gives him more momentum, which is draining a little bit from the Agrarian Party, but a lot more from the Conservative Party, which is just fine. The 1929 campaign. Everyone's declaring neutrality. Everyone is neutral. So this situation in Uruguay, I can't be bothered with. This one over here in Dahomey, that's over already. Ethiopian bourgeois revolt, not concerning myself with that. I guess I didn't need to worry too much about cars, huh? They really kind of sorted themselves out regardless. There's the Ethiopian revolt popping off. Communist Philippine revolt. Just checking my armies to make sure we've got... This army needs a new guy. And I know just the guy. Social Democrat. No nationalist. A lot of extremists in the army these days. Let's give you a promotion. Social Democrat. What's your ideology? Regular? Normal amount of ideology? Vanilla? Social Democrat's a little bit left, but honestly, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the baselines. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw the rest of the ports up to the top. We are going to continue to build up our motor industries, obviously, but we need these ports as well. Just to make sure that we've got enough convoys to continue to do all the things we need to do to sustain trade and our armies at the same time. And then we can crush the Georgian uprising. Chill out, Georgia. You're going to be in the Empire a long time. Great Britain is quashing a fascist revolt in Portugal, which is wild. It's very Hearts of Iron. Let's see. And this one is not going to end until they've completely lost their war support. But that should only take another few dozen weeks. So that should be good to go. It's still January 31st. It's still January. And the reason it's important is because that's all we've got time for today. But we are technically still in my cutoff of around when being a normal time to end. So we'll see the results of the election next time we pop in. But for now, I've had a good time. I hope you all have had a good time, and I'll see you all on the other side.